Hi, I just thought I would give some info about, I found it quite hard to find info about dermoid cyst removal, and I thought I would just explain what it was like to go through, because I don't think that there's much out there on the YouTube. So I had a dermoid cyst removed, tennis ball sized dermoid cyst removed from my right ovary, and I had a fibroid removed from the lining of my uterus because that was making my periods really, really heavy. And he also found a bit of endometriosis in there, so he removed that as well. So 2 days before the surgery, I had to have a liquid diet of smoothies, soups. Day before the surgery, clear liquids, black coffee, apple juice, and Pico Prep. I took it, went, is this working? 3 hours late. Then it starts, and then it didn't really stop until about 10:30 at night, so it definitely works. It was made complicated by the fact that I got my period that day, which just made it so much worse. And of course then I had my second heaviest day, which is the day of my surgery, which also just made it just less pleasant. So got to the hospital, came to this room, got changed, took me down to theatre, met the anaesthetist, put in my cannula, and went in, wheeled in. You feel like you're in a movie. Everything's very white and very cold. And they get you to move across to the bed, put the mask on you, tell you to breathe deeply. You're out within 10 seconds. Woke up here, had a pad underneath me which was quite soiled because obviously I'd just been leaking during the surgery. Lovely, so they changed that, which was good. I had a catheter in, and I had a drain on the right hand side. Really, I was just really out of it, and I just dozed that day. My belly was quite a little bit distended, but not too swollen. I just felt really, really tired. And when those drugs from the surgery started to wear off, I asked for drugs. They gave me endone, but they only gave me one pill, and I really noticed that that was not enough. And so I suffered kind of for an extra 2 hours longer in pain where I really didn't need to, because if they'd given me 2 pills, it would have been fine. So if you find that you're still in pain, ask for more drugs. And also, I sort of don't take any kind of opioids of any sort, so I didn't know what a bad reaction to it was, but I got really hot and I was hiccuping a lot. So I think that just didn't agree with me, so they changed that to tramadol the next day. So yeah, you're pretty much out of it. You can't do anything, you can't leave the bed, you're stuck. They put these things around your legs which kind of blow up and deflate to help with circulation, I think. They're really noisy, which means you hear a bzzz, psh, bzzz, psh, and they kind of alternate, and it's really wise. Best thing I did was bring my noise cancelling headphones, just in-ear ones, and just turn them on. Didn't even have anything, wasn't playing anything, and my eye mask, because if I didn't have those, I would not have slept. Hot tip. Day 2, they took out the catheter, took out the drain. Yes, was able to get up out of bed, have a shower. Really lightheaded from the drugs and from the general anaesthetic, but I was okay. I was able to go and have a shower by myself, and I was quite tired after the shower, but just again dozed all day. Tried to get up as much as I could because I just wanted to walk around. Is what they recommend. You do have gas, which is really irritating, and it makes your chest and diaphragm really tender, and it also gives you really bad pain in your shoulder, like really, it's really painful, and not unbearable, but just really uncomfortable. And best thing they recommend for that is just to keep moving. It sucks. So fair warning. I walked around the ward. My goals for that day were, they're written on that board: mobilise, pain management, and sit out of bed. And I did all those things, and also did a little walk, but I was tired after that. Day 3, again, just trying to get those meds right. This is day 3 today. Been really conscious today of just trying to be on my feet as much as possible, because I just didn't want to go through this again. It's starting to come back now, even just from me sitting here for a bit. I'm just even, watching a film. I've just been standing next to the bed, moving around as much as I can. I had a bowel movement today, which was awesome. They give you these kind of little granular things sort of over day 2, day 3 to kind of keep your bowel moving. Oh, and when they take the catheter out on day 2, they also do this thing called a trial of void, which is where they just want to make sure that, because your bladder gets quite lazy after the catheter, just to make sure that it's emptying properly. So you have to drink like 150 to 200 mils of water every hour. And when you feel like getting up and going to the loo, they come and then do, after you've emptied your bladder, they come and do an ultrasound and just see if there's any fluid, any urine left in there. If there is, you keep doing it until basically it's emptied, because if the urine gets stuck in there, you can get a bladder infection. They don't want that. So yeah, that's day 3. I go home tomorrow. I hope this was helpful. Yeah, look, I had open surgery for dermoid cyst removal 22 years ago. I'm so sorry about the hiccups. And that sucked so bad. The recovery from that was way bigger. You know, I've got essentially a cesarean scar from that, and the recovery from that was really long. And the difference between the first day to the second day to the second day to the third day is huge. It's like you're like a different person. So that makes me think that the recovery process in general from this will be a lot quicker. In a week's time, I'm to go to my GP and they'll sort of do the dressings when I leave, but then a week's time I'll go to my GP and she'll remove the dressings. And from now, a month, I can start exercising. So that sort of gives you a sense of what it's like. But it's okay. It kind of sucks, but it's not anything that's not doable. If you just kind of, well, honestly, everything I've told you is what happens. And look at me, I'm sitting up on day 3, and I'm able to walk around and do all this stuff. So it's cool. Thanks, bye.